What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon Black and White 2. In the last episode, we made it here to Virbank City, made our way down south on our way to the Virbank Complex, and we covered all of the Pokemon that are available in the outer Virbank Complex area, but now we're on the inside. We got a couple more to go over, but before we do that, I'm going to talk to this guy really quickly. He says, "Hey there, trainer, it looks like you got energetic Pokemon there with you. Can I ask a favor? I need to get the workers in this complex fired up. How about it? Help a guy out, will you?" Sure, that's what I like to hear. There's some new workers here in the complex. Go get those 3 raring to go, and by raring to go, he means go and have Pokemon battles with them. So we're going to go ahead and do that, stopping and being stopped by other trainers along the way and whatnot. But here in this inner area of the complex, I also need to go over 2 additional Pokemon, because there were, Magnemite, Elekid, and Magby that were available in the outer area. Well, here in the inner area, we got 2 more, Growlithe and Coughing, that I'm going to go over really quickly as I battle this Lillipup. Growlithe is a pure Fire-type Pokemon that evolves into Arcanine when exposed to a Firestone. Arcanine is a very good Pokemon with great speed, solid defenses, and excellent offense that makes it pretty much a jack-of-all-trades in the Fire department. My only issue with it is one that I find is actually quite common with a lot of Pokemon that evolve via stones, and that's how long you need to wait for it to learn certain moves before it's good to go. And Growlithe is no exception. Both Outrage at level 43 and Flare Blitz at level 45 are staples of Arcanine's kit, so waiting until then to bite the bullet can be a tough sell, especially when Growlithe hardly holds its own by itself, but if you can wait it out, you are rewarded with probably the best pure Fire-type Pokemon available in all of Generation 5. Coughing is a pure Poison-type Pokemon that evolves into Wheezing at level 35. While defensively oriented, its poor stat spread makes this Pokemon generally just pretty average at most things, while not having access to a whole lot of very interesting moves. Obviously, Sludge Bomb is the big one, but almost any halfway decent Poison type can learn that one. But it also doesn't really get access to any good physical TMs, and physical is the way that this Pokemon is designed to be built, unfortunately. It just doesn't play into its own strengths very well, and that's never a good thing for any Pokemon to be. If you must get a Poison type this early, I'd honestly just go with the Scolipede line, as it has a lot more upside. And wow, this Lillipup nearly took Tomoe down. That would not have been good if a single critical hit would have landed. I was definitely not paying nearly close enough attention there at my health, as I was just kind of autopiloting my way through those water guns, but we did manage to take it down, and I am going to actually take the time to heal really quickly. So I was incredibly tempted, I just want to say that right now, incredibly tempted to add a Growlithe to my team, but something I generally avoid doing most of the time outside of my starter is pick up mono-type Pokemon. Now, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite there probably later on, because there is one other mono-type I'm going to add to my team, but I try not to have more than maybe like 2 on my team at any given time, because, well, duo-type Pokemon are pretty much the best around outside of very specific circumstances. So it is generally frowned upon, despite how amazing Arcanine's base stats are. And I think I just want to fill the fire niche with something else a little bit later. Assuming I'm filling it all. Of course I am. Rule of thumb is I almost always have 3 of the 4 on my team: water, grass, electric, and fire. I always have 3 of the 4 on every single team. Sometimes all 4 whenever I build a team, and then I just kind of fill it in with everything else, because they just cover so much ground that there's almost never a reason not to. Obviously, there can be exceptions here and there, but I do like having as much of that, as much coverage as I possibly can, just because those types are obviously so versatile. So as we make our way through here, there is going to be, I actually do have to go into the grass because I want to get myself some items that are in here. So I'll be using some more repels as we make our way through. Again, if I see rustling grass, I will probably also take advantage of that. Oh, I can't get back. I swear I can get back there. Can I not? Oh, it's back here. Okay, here we go. Yes. Hi. Heating crude oil separates it into many different components. That's what distillation tower is for. It's also known as a topper, but I want to call it a distillation tower. Oh, my knowledge overflowed and it was overheard. What? Okay, well, I was kind of curious about that, but all right. Going to get ourselves a little tiny mushroom back here. So grab that really quickly. That is just for selling. Also, the only spot where you can run into dark grass over here. We got ourselves a great ball here in this patch. And I want to say that's it for the hidden items in here. Everything else... I should not have reused that. Well, I guess I can head over here then and talk to this guy. Smokestacks of the complex rise up into the sky. That powerful silhouette is sure breathtaking, isn't it? By the way, they're burning up waste gas. Recently, they found all sorts of uses for this gas, though. And... oh, you overheard some of my vast stock of knowledge. And off he goes again. Let's see. Maybe we can track this guy down one more time down here on the south side. Those gas holders are sure an expression of harmony, aren't they? There's a reason behind that shape. A sphere is best for withstanding the tremendous pressure inside. It'd be nice if they would draw Pokemon on these gas holders, too. You ever heard some of my breathtaking knowledge? Are you actually interested in what I have to say? That would mean I have a complex buddy. That makes me really happy. Well, then, take this with you. And we get ourselves a free ether. Thank you very much, sir. An ether is always nice, especially because that is an item that is not obtainable through normal means. You can only ever find those in the game. They are very hard to track down, so you're going to want to make sure and also store them for when you absolutely need them, of course. Now, before I actually talk to this worker, I'm going to go down here. Not going to use another repel this time. Instead, I'm going to get TM46 Thief. Good for stealing hold items and whatnot. It is a dark-type move, base power of 40, I believe. But all right, let's battle this guy. And then we're going to, track down all of his coworkers as well. There should be 2 others, most of which I believe are up in the rafters, going up against a Magmy. Unfortunately, these guys, little baby Pokemon, just do not yield a good amount of experience whatsoever. So this is going to be kind of a waste of time in that regard, but that's okay. If I can get Tomoe to evolve before we battle the gym leader, I'm happy. That's pretty much all I want. I want my Lucario rocking, my Riolu rocking Force Palm, which it already does, and then Tomoe at level 17 and evolved into Duat before we get to that point. Granted, Tomoe is going to be doing most of the heavy lifting in that gym because, well, fighting types aren't very good against poison types, and yes, we already know that we're going to be going up against poison types in there. They can get away with a tackle here instead of a water gun, and there we go. Beautiful. Level 16 out of that. And maybe we can get to level 17 before we leave the complex with the last 2 worker battles. I don't know. We will see. In this complex, my Pokemon could accomplish a lot. That means that as a trainer, I have to work like crazy. Well, are you a worker or a trainer? I guess you can be both. Everyone's allowed to be both in this world. I shouldn't be so judgmental in that regard. Happy just to be with my awesome Pokemon. What? A battle? I guess so. I'll play. But are there any guardrails up here, though, sir? This is probably not OSHA approved. Granted, OSHA probably doesn't exist in this universe, but there must be an equivalent somewhere, right? I would assume so. But okay, Patrats first. If all of them are going to have 2 Pokemon, that just makes my life a lot easier in that in the experience regard as well. But getting Tomoe to... there's the Detect. Patrat's usually the worst offender of that anyway in these Gen 5 games. But yeah, getting Tomoe to evolve so soon is going to be really, really helpful. This is why it's generally a good idea to have as few Pokemon as possible in your team early on. You don't want to stock up on 6 right off the bat. It's just ill-advised in the best of circumstances. Don't do it. Elekid next. Okay, I'm actually going to switch off to Jack just for this one. I don't think Elekid is going to be packing static. I think Electa... Well, honestly, it could, now that I think about it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to Force Palm it, and it doesn't matter because I'm going to go back and heal at the Pokemon Center once we leave the complex anyway. This Thundershock might paralyze. I don't know. Nope, no paralysis. Okay, I'll take it. And let me finish it off with a quick attack really quickly. And beautiful. And that might push Jack to level 16. Wow. More experience than I thought out of these baby Pokemon, actually. I guess I was wrong there. For some reason, I thought they gave exponentially less than your standard Pokemon, but that is not true. All right. Well, I love being proven wrong on camera. It's honestly a good thing. It keeps me humble. I never profess to say that I am this ultimate Pokemon knowledge expert. I am not. I am mostly just going off the cuff with the things that I have the information that I have retained in these games over the many, many years, and much of it has been taught to me, certainly, but I've also learned a lot for myself, and that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge. I'm not going to be like out here Professor Pokemon, Mr. Frickin' Cerebi himself, telling you absolutely everything you need to know about this game. I am just somebody who really likes Pokemon and enjoys it to the degree that I do, but I think I say that in every Let's Play, and I will continue to say it from here until the end of time. Okay, let's knock this Patrat out before it kills us, because if that bide goes off, this is not going to end well. All right, cool. So, decent. Thank you, youngster Waylon. I am still looking for... There's an item around here that I really, really need, but I don't see it exactly where I'm at. But it shouldn't be hidden, so... Anyway, this is the last worker right here. And we are going to get a good TM from the boss. Actually, did I already get it? I maybe I already did get that. I should probably check. It's actually been a couple days since I recorded the last episode, so now all of a sudden I am second-guessing myself. Anyway, yeah, we're going to get a good TM from the boss for beating all of the workers in here and, quote-unquote, getting them motivated back to work and or beating up their Pokemon who probably helped them with their work. But that right there should push Tomoe to level 17, so she is going to evolve when this fight is all said and done. Wants to learn Razor Shell, so I'm going to say yes to this, even though, obviously, we are going more specially focused with Tomoe. It's still going to be nice to have both options, especially given the defenses of opposing Pokemon. All right, Lillipup, I'm going to actually switch back on over to Jack for this and get a Force Palm in, which should be probably a one-shot, but I don't know 100% for sure. I'm not going to call that right here and now. But it should be. It absolutely should be. All right. Only problem with Force Palm is you only get 10 uses out of it. That is its biggest weakness. There we go. That's what I like to see. One shot indeed. And we have beaten Worker Nathan. So now it is time for Tomoe to evolve. Oh, this is exciting. Congratulations, your Tomoe evolved into Duat. Look at that. Wow, look at her. What a glow up she's already gotten. I love Duat. It's honestly one of my favorite mid-evos in all of Pokemon. Genuinely my favorite part of this entire line. It's okay if every day is the same when I'm working at this complex. It means there aren't any problems. And there we go. We have done it. All right, I don't think, like I said, no more hidden items around here. Although I didn't have a repel active. Maybe I can get out of this area unscathed, possibly. Thank you. Okay, that's what I wanted. Really quickly, I want to draw attention to this girl real fast. Why, you have a Pokedex, don't you? I heard that the newest Pokedex has an amazing function called the Habitat List. This is actually something that Bianca just introduced to us an episode ago. She just show me what kind of Pokemon live in this complex. Oh, you don't have the Habitat List for the complex filled up yet. So, we're going to actually go into the Pokedex and go over this really, really quickly. So let's head on in here. So I'm going to actually sort it by habitat really fast. And you can actually see, based on whatever route we're in, so we'll go into the Virbank Complex, you can actually go in and take a look at the information in here. You see Pidove, Elekid, Audino, Patrat, and Coughing. And then there is also, I believe, Growlithe, but that's because we haven't actually seen a Growlithe yet, that it isn't popping up. You need to collect every single Pokemon that is caught in here, and if you have caught all of them, you can come back to her and she will give you a reward. This happens multiple times throughout the game, and in her case, she is going to give us 5 Great Balls if we do it. I am not going to be going out of my way to complete that, though. That's not really on my radar at the moment, although it is something to do. Just another little extra way of getting yourself some rewards. Okay, I did not get the item that I wanted. So hold on a second. I'm going to see if I can track this thing out. I don't remember if it's... I thought it was in here, but maybe it's actually in the outer section? I honestly don't know. Okay, it's definitely in the outer section. My apologies. I must have missed it while I was out there. Let's talk to this guy. Hey, you did it, didn't you? This is a token of my thanks. And we get TM94 Rock Smash. A very weak fighting move, although I believe in this game it did receive a tiny buff. It used to only have a base power of 20. I think it now has a base power of 40, and I am correct. And it may also lower the target's defense stat, but at a very high rate. I think it's like a 50% rate. It might even be higher than that, that it lowers... defense. So really nice. Can also obviously build up the power of that the more that you use it. So I want to follow this path over here, my bad, and then go all the way down this way and eventually up the stairs over here and around the grass all the way down. And there we go. We get ourselves a Silk Scarf. This is not a hidden item. There's actually an item ball here. You just can't see it from this angle. That is the held item, the token held item that is meant for powering up normal moves by, I do believe, 10%. Every single type has an equivalent to this. Electric types have the magnet, fire types have the charcoal, water types actually got multiple options, but the main one is Mystic Water. Pretty much any type is going to have these sorts of things. These are really just nice bonuses that aren't going to necessarily set your world on fire, but they are going to make already strong Pokemon even stronger, so it is actually worth going after them if you get the opportunity. I do not have a normal type on my team at the moment, so I am not going to worry about equipping the Silk Scarf, but it would still power up moves like Tackle, like Quick Attack. So there is that pretty darn nice. In fact, it probably wouldn't hurt to equip it onto my Riolu right now, just because it's going to be better than his fighting type options. Once we head on into the... Oh my gosh, I still need to get used to this D-pad. Going into this gym right here, but I think I'm going to opt for the Oranberry strats instead, but obviously I'll worry about that more once we actually fight the gym leader. All right, I say now's the time. Let's just head on inside. There's not really much else for us to do. So we're going to head on down here, and we're going to already get some really interesting theming with this first gym. This is a Pokemon gym, and it's also a rock club. The gym leader and the others are practicing inside, but please feel free to challenge all of them. Oh, you'll need to stay hydrated. Here you go. And we get ourselves another fresh water. Remember, 50 HP, not bad. All right, we're probably only going to get like one fight in here before this is an episode, but I am going to head up here and talk to the DJ. Running the PA, balance the sound in the venue so it's easy to hear. Are you a trainer? So does that mean you're thinking about the tight balance of the Pokemon in your party? What about you? That's a gym leader for you. She really brings out the charms of her Pokemon, but she's too wrapped up in what she's doing here. Okay, this guy right here, Pokestar Studios, all right? That is where Roxy's father ran off to. This guy right here would normally be blocking the way before we actually come and challenge the gym. Actually, I don't even know. It might actually be just another person with the exact same sprite, but we can't go to Pokestar Studios right now until we deal with this. This is why we've head straight here. I forgot to mention that, but wanted to clarify that. There's a reason I haven't gone off to Pokestar Studios just yet. I really just didn't want to draw attention to it too much because that's something for a little bit later. But okay, we got a drummer, we got a guitarist, and another guitarist. I mean, maybe you could say Roxy's on bass, but I think they're both on guitar. Let's start with the drummer. Get my way, I'll knock you out. Stay out of my way, and I'll knock you out too. Okay, so you're just a violent asshole. Got it. Let's do this thing. So first up, the drummer, Roughneck Nicky, and he is going to start off with Grimers. Like I said, poison types in this gym. Be prepared for that. Now, poison types are generally pretty darn defensive in most cases. There is one in particular that is a little less, and actually I probably should have used Razor Shell there. Grimer is more physically or specially defensive than physically defensive. And this is where antidotes and Pecha Berries are going to come in handy. We're going to be dealing with this a lot. All right, I did not mean to do that. Let me just select Razor Shell here. Really should be using the touchscreen a lot more when I'm selecting these attacks. There we go. See, more damage on the Razor Shell despite Tomoe's lower physical attack stat. But then we're going to get Coughing, which is the exact opposite, where its special defense is the lower stat. So we'll focus on using Water Gun here. I'm not even going to bother healing the poison. I'm just going to, not until after the fight's over anyway. I'll probably just do it between episodes. There's another one of those. It's going to push me just outside of poison range, which is fine by me. Then we'll just Water Gun you, and there goes the first fight. Very, very simple. Obviously, all of this is going to be very easy until we get to the gym leader, which is where things are going to get a little bit more complicated. But okay, nice little taster of this gym. We're going to finish it in the next episode, guys, because that's going to be it for this one. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.